We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Miss Hip Hop, aka Queen Star. And today we are doing things a bit differently. I am introducing some individuals from the podcast community because we are basically the next wave of radio hosts. Let's keep that real. So with that being said, I would like to welcome DEJAH BOO from the
Hey.
Stu. Yeah.
Hey. What's up, y'all?
Yeah. All right. DEJAH. I've been waiting for you to come on for a minute
I
now.
know you've been hitting me up. When am I gonna be on? I watch you.
I'm happy to hear that, girl. Like straight up. Tell everybody where you be broadcasting your show out of.
So I broadcast out of LA. In the heart of LA.
Okay.
I'll be broadcasting, doing upcoming artists, DJs, songwriters, managers. Then I'm planning on expanding that once, it gets jumping to entrepreneurs and, comedians, actresses, actors. Once it starts getting big, I'm going to expand it to more, options, other careers.
I am so happy to hear that. I think you should definitely continue on doing what you're doing and definitely not limiting yourself and your guests or whatever. You don't, have to interview the same type of people all the time, because if you have that natural ability to be a host, then that's what you do,
Exactly.
And that's why they're drawing me to your show, because I'm like, when you first start something, you think you're the only one doing it.
Right. I found the same way. Then I hashtag podcast, and all these different podcasts comes up, and it gave me a few different ideas for what's to come. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. This is a question that I wasn't even thinking about asking you, but when you are searching for other podcasts that are alike, what do you search for? What hashtag do you search?
Well, when I started as just upcoming podcast.
Oh.
Because I was upcoming, so I wanted to see how people were starting off. And then I started doing music podcasts, acting podcasts, and then just general podcasts. Once after, my first season, because I would technically say my first season ended, and then I'm going to start back up sometime in May. So for season 2, it's going to be a little bit different.
Okay. And how long you been doing this?
I've had the idea for a while. It's been like a year.
Really?
But I want to say I started maybe January.
Wow.
Taking it off, my first interview was probably the first week of February.
Wow.
Yeah. So it jumped quick, actually. I didn't think it was going to be I don't want to say it's big, but as much.
It's getting there.
Yeah. As much attention. I thought it was going to be really slow, but as soon as I had like the third podcast up, it was like, I want to be on your show. And I was like, oh, I was not expecting this, but I think it was good for me because it gave me enough confidence to be like, okay, I could do this.
Exactly. And that's what drew me to you. You were basically doing what I was doing, but you've been doing it longer, and you had a whole different type of setup, which I'm going to get into. Mm-hmm. I almost want to just scratch these questions out because I'm already interviewing you basically. We just having a conversation though.
Right. This is what usually happens, but
Yeah, I guess so. I really do look up to your show and everything. I just want to advance like you do.
Oh, that means a lot. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
No problem. This is Chicago and LA uniting,
Right.
All right. So, what influenced the name In the Stu? I love that name, man.
You know what? It was gonna be live with DEJAH BOO, and it was iffy. It was iffy because it wasn't it was gonna be live. It was obviously like pre-recorded, so I didn't like that. And then I just felt like it really limited me. And then I knew that I wanted to be like in the studio. So at first it was gonna be called In the Studio, but then I was like, you know what, that sounds too long. Let me cut it. And then In the Stew just came. So I was like, In the Stew. But then I was scared because I was like, well, what if people think that it's a cooking show? Because, you know, like.
Wow. I didn't think about that.
No, you're good. I mean, I got, I was iffy because I was like, dang, like, I don't want people to think that it's like a cooking show or anything. But I feel like, it just stuck. A lot of people, I sent it to my friends and asked them how they thought about it, and they were like, dude, that's dope. So.
It's dope because what you just said, you don't want to confuse the audience with beef stew to the stew.
Right. Exactly.
But people that's around music all the time, that's, what I'm saying, got a knack for it, a passion for it, they're going to automatically, oh, yeah, I know what the stew is, because
right.
I was listening to different artists like Lupe Fiasco from Chicago. He said, In the Stew. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? But, as I, grew, I'm like, oh, the studio, duh.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about no cooking, no DEJAH BOO.
Well, it was a thought. It was a scary thought because I was like, dang. And then, like, if you really know me, like, I didn't know how to cook for the longest time. So then I was like, dang, people are going to think I'm a joke. And it was just like a horrible thing. But then that's why I also thought, okay, let me start off with music, because when you think of music, you think, okay, I'm going to go record in the stew. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it also means like, okay, I can expand it because anybody can be in the studio. Like I said, I wanted to expand it. It could have been, for actors, comedians, entrepreneurs, anything really. Anybody that wants to promote their stuff, they can hop on the show.
Well, I have so many questions in my head that's not technically even written down because this is so natural. It's crazy.
I'm not even worried. Let's go.
Okay, well, shoot. You said, talking about yourself as far as you couldn't cook at first. Tell us a little background of who you are and, just what inspired you to start podcasting in the first place.
So I'm originally from the Bay, which is in Northern California. I moved to LA about 5 years ago, and it's crazy because at first, like, I was really into sports. I wanted to be a sports med doctor. And when I came out here for school, I totally just, fell in love with the LA life. Like, just the fact that celebrities were here, and you can literally go to, Hollywood and run into somebody. I used to work at Shoe Palace in Hollywood, so celebrities would be in there all the time. And I'm not used to that, so I was starstruck. I was like, oh my God. And I was always on TMZ. I was always on Unlocked Hollywood. I was always on the gossip. So I knew a lot about it. And then I would listen to the radio a lot. And I was, Big Boy is like really big out here, even though he doesn't work at Power 106 anymore. But, I told myself, dang, like, I want to be on Power 106. I want to do it. I want to be a host on Power 106. I want to have my own show. Like, I want to gossip. I want to talk. I want to influence. So I, changed my whole background, got a AA in communications, working on my BA, and got a job. I actually work at Power 106 now.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, so that's the whole crazy story. So I actually interned first with DJ FELLI FEL.
Mm-hmm.
And I interned with him for 2 semesters. And, I was in the studio. He let me be on air. I was helping him with the news. And he really made me see a whole different side of radio and hosting. And he really is a role model for me. And, kind of helping me do this podcast for me. Mm-hmm. So he taught me some things. He you know, encouraged me to keep going and to ask him any questions that I had and, you know, stuff like that. So then I applied for the job and here I am now working for Power 106.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So what's your exact job title position at 106?
So right now I'm on the street team.
Dang.
So that means like we go out and we promote the radio. So we're like, you know, I have there's different DJs that go out and then I'm, you know, on the mic giving out prizes, doing games with people outside, you know, shoe stores, outside of concerts, outside of any business really that wants us there. So that's where I'm working at. And then, you know, I just got to climb the ladder until I become a host. So that's the goal.
DEJAH BOO, I am so proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
For sure. Yeah, you really intrigued the hell out of me. But girl, okay.
It was a process, but I knew basically like what I wanted to do and I stuck with it. So just don't give up.
Right. Keep pushing, keep grinding. You are such an inspiration to me. Okay, so damn. All right, as you know, it's like kind of difficult starting off your own show, and because you have to, you know, kind of find a center of topics to go off of. So what how did you find I mean, how did you find your niche? Like, I knew you wanted to be in radio, you just said that and everything, but podcasting is a little bit different. Like, the experts say you got to center your podcast around one topic so your listeners know what to expect and yada yada yada, feel me? But like the things that like you and I kind of do and these other podcasters I've had on my show, they do, ain't nobody listening to that, yo, feel me? Like, everybody likes to be themselves on air, and I think you do that perfectly. So man, you kind of answered all these questions, not everything, but how long did it take before you to actually get rolling, and when did you know that you had something? You had something special?
Regarding the podcast, I think it would be whose interview? I want to say it was my it was my interview with Dakar. He's actually one of my homeboys from up north in the Bay. We used to play ball together at the same college, and he decided to do music, and he's a big supporter. He was super hyped. He was one of my first interviews that I recorded. And he was super hyped. And he really spread the word about it. So I think after I posted a bunch of his friends wanted to hop on, and then it was crazy because then, you know, people from out of state started to hit me up. And then I was like, okay, wait, are they going to fly down here? Are we going to do audio? Because at the time I didn't have any idea of how to do audio. So I want to say it was after his interview that I posted. That's when I knew. I was just like, dang, like hella people are hitting me up. This is about to get cracking. Like, we had literally like three days out of the week that we were interviewing people. Okay,
so before the pandemic happened and you were interviewing people face to face, how many days out the week were you doing that?
It was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Oh, you just said 3 times a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's part-time, basically.
I went to my regular job, and right after that, I knocked out an interview every day. Sometimes it was 2 a day.
Damn, girl, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so I just have a lot of people trying to sign up, and I'm like, okay, this is cracking.
It is cracking.
That's why I had to take this break. I was like, okay, let me take 2 weeks off. Let me plan. Let me figure out what's going to happen for season 2 so that it can run smooth. Because I feel like I was like a chicken with his head cut off. Like, I was just everywhere.
Yeah, that's how it be, though. So talk about more of that transition that you had to make from visual to audio. Like, talk more about that. How what's going on with that?
Well, it was very difficult at first.
Mm-hmm.
I am not gonna lie. I knew that Zoom was here, but I didn't really understand the program. I'm really like computer savvy, but for some reason, like when I was trying to do it at work with my coworker, there was just so many complications. That's why I had to keep asking you questions, because I was just like, what? How does she do this? And, you know, a bunch of artists that were hitting me up out of state were saying like, yeah, I plan to come to LA. So I didn't think that it was going to be an option because they were already coming to LA anyway, you know?
Right.
But,
okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, they just planned on whenever they came, we would just set something up. But because of this pandemic and the coronavirus going around, like, who knows when they're going to be able to come.
Yeah.
So it was definitely necessary, or my podcast was just going to be shut down. Until who knows. And I worked too hard to start this, so that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, you got people flying from out of state, whether they was coming there or not. They still, I'm finna go on DEJAH Boo show real quick. Feel me?
Yeah, it was like one of the stops that they had to, that they wanted to take while they were out here.
Exactly. You were a tourist attraction.
Basically.
Damn, that is dope as hell. Dang, I had another question. Anyway, how do you find your guests for your show? Like, no, that's not what I wanted to ask you. Bump that real quick. Have you ever interviewed a celebrity?
I have, well, on my podcast or like ever?
That's a good question. On your podcast first.
On my podcast, I did interview, she's definitely coming up. She's on Empire label.
Wow.
Devin Adair. I don't think she's verified, but she's on a label. That's probably the biggest that I've done so far.
That's good. That's really, really, really good. Well, now what about your when you say, what do you mean, like podcast or something else? What else were you doing to interview people before?
Well, on the radio on Power 106.
Oh, well, duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had Fab in the building. We had Meg the Stallion.
What?
Cap G.
Damn.
There's a bunch of people that go in and out. Plus, like Felli, Teddy Mora. I've had a conversation with Nick Cannon, but it wasn't like an interview, just like a high and by kind of thing. So I've had maybe not an interview, but a conversation, because since I was just interning at the time, and I basically did the questions. It wasn't really like an interview. It was just more like a conversation. Probably I asked like one question.
Man, this is like staring into a mirror almost. I'm serious of like what my future holds and stuff like that. This is incredible. So back to the other question I say I bumped before, because another one just popped in my head. How do you? I don't even have to ask you that question. All right, This is so funny, girl. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What's the best piece of advice you can? Yeah, what's the best piece of advice you can give to a beginner podcaster?
That's a good question.
Hell yeah.
Whew. The best advice that I can give them is don't be discouraged.
Amen. Because
when I first started, I had no confidence in myself. I had all these ideas, and if it wasn't for my coworker, who's like / my manager, Kay, I bounced my ideas, and she gave me that confidence and said, just do it and see what happens. I think she said that she thinks my ideas are great, but we're never going to know unless you do it. So don't let your discouragement stop you from what you want to do.
Right, exactly.
Because some people aren't going to like it, and some people are, but at least you put it out there, and you see the reaction, and that's where you either want to stick with it or you want to change it.
Okay, that's good advice too, because that's just about in anything that you do. Do not get discouraged, and that's beautiful advice. Look, damn, I had another question. How do you? Yeah. How do you deal with haters?
Surprisingly, I don't have any yet.
There you go, boy. Yeah.
I feel like they are coming though. Especially with people who feel like I've been blowing them off.
Oh my God.
And it's not even like that. I just have so much going on, and then the pandemic just messed all my ideas up.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't want to be, how do you say it? I don't want to give them false information when I don't even have an idea yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to tell them. Like, I'm working on, starting this thing back up. Just give me time. But people feel like because I don't answer, I'm ignoring them. But I see everything. And that's definitely not the case.
Hell no.
But I don't have any haters. There's people who disagree with the stuff that I do on my team, but that's about it.
Okay. Fair enough. That was a clean-cut answer. Let me see. You, okay. Well, I don't know how long we've been on air or whatever. I don't really know, but I usually like to, before we get out of here, I like to let you answer some fun questions that I came up with, aka random questions. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. And I think I know this answer just by listening to you talk, but who's your best interview that you've given and why?
Who I've interviewed, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I really had fun with definitely Dakar because he was a homie, and my boy PC Baby. Those were my two best ones. PC Baby, we used to work at Shoe Palace together, and he's a vibe.
Yeah,
we were laughing the whole interview.
Yeah, whatever you just said, you a whole vibe, DEJAH BOO.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Expect a lot of artists to be hitting you up after this. I mean, at least from my end.
I hope. Send them over.
Girl, I'm about to. Don't worry. I got you.
Send them all. We gonna connect.
We gonna link up in this mug.
We gonna build that bridge.
We gonna build that bridge. Oh my God, girl, I love you. You are so cool. I moving on. Last vacation spot.
Last vacation spot. Where did we go? Me and my family just went to Disneyland.
That's nice.
Before the pandemic in February.
Cool. That's when you started your podcast too, in February, right?
Yeah, it was like a week before, actually.
Damn.
Mhm.
Interesting to know. I favorite 90s TV series.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hard. That was a lot.
Is it Martin? Is it Moesha? I mean, what's up?
I definitely love Martin.
Me too.
That is probably my fave.
Yeah, me too. And Fresh Prince of Bel-Air too.
Mhm. Oh, Will Smith?
It's fine, girl.
Right.
Still today.
Even today, yes.
I hope you listening, Will. No,
right.
For real. Shout out to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith too. But yeah. And finally, but not least, can you crip walk, DEJAH BOO?
No, I cannot. Nope. I'm not from here, so that's not my dance.
Oh shit. Wait, did I ask you that question? Where you originally from? Oh yeah, you said the Bay Area. Yeah, that's Northern California.
I can dance. Hey.
You could do what?
This dance.
Oh, cool. I don't know how to do that either. You're gonna have to teach me when I get there.
Right. Let's do it.
For sure. DEJAH BOO, give some shout outs before we end the show. Whether it's podcasters or people you interview, family, whoever, friends.
Shoot. Oh, first of all, shout out my manager / co-worker Kay. She's held me down since the beginning of this idea. Yes. Shout out to my videographer because I am a pain in the ass about getting these videos out. Shout out to Power 106 for, hiring me and giving me that motivation to start this podcast. Shout out to DJ FELLI. Shout out to my fam. Shout out to you for letting me be on your show.
Thank you.
That's about it.
Cool. Well, thanks, Deja Boo, for stopping by today and telling us about your show, In the Stew. And I really appreciate you.
Thank you. It's been an honor. I love it. Love the vibe.
I love the vibe too, girl. And thank you to all my listeners who tune in each and every weekend for the hottest artists and music, y'all. And check out my Fresh Friday music on iHeartRadio. We blowing up, boy. Let's get it, y'all.
Hey.
And shout out to, she already on the show, Deja Boo, LA, baby. That's how we rolling. West Coast vibes. That's how we get it.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace out, Deja Boo.
All right, bye.
Bye.